right before I started this video, it was Teresa. I love Teresa, although I stopped following her. I'll be honest, I did. I just get tired of it. I get tired of it sometimes. I really do. Just seeing the content and what people push out. It's just not for me. To each to their own. That said, landed on my For You page. She's like, you caught onto the lick that they were running, and then they thought they would puff out their chest. Yeah, I'd say it went a little something like that. Yeah, it did. But you see my chest and their chest is a little bit different. We have different chests that you puff out. You know, they puff out their chests in different ways. I puff out my chest with humility and humbleness and generosity and kindness and understanding, but also spiciness. And also respect for myself and respect for others that deserve it. Period. There's no waiving of that. And I don't care who you are. You know, it's just one of those things. I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I see so much. That's just where I'm at in my walk. It just is. I'm not scared. I do not walk with fear. I know every day I get up and fight my daily grind and my daily battle, and the way that I fight it, God is happy with me. And I give grace and acknowledgement and understanding what Jesus Christ did on the cross for me, as well as everybody else. Right. And I'm not the dictator in this world to decipher who Jesus Christ died on the cross for. That is not my job. I don't wear that job and I don't want it. And so when I find myself in circumstances and situations and I see things and I feel things, I'm like, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'm going to give that one to God. I'm going to let them walk through whatever it is they're walking through. You know, if people cannot articulate things in a true and transparent and authentic way, but they want to manipulate words in a sentence to get their point across while manipulating you, they can continue doing that by all means. That generally does not work for me, though. I understand the games of the motion, and I understand the game of life, but I also understand myself, and I understand what I need to do to get ahead, as well as what I need to do and where I'm at in my season of life. This is just a season, as every other thing in my life has been a season, right? I'm also in another season, right? And when it comes to my day job, when it comes to just the reality that I find myself living through every single day, I'm like, this is just a season. This is all very temporary. Very temporary, because it is all temporary. Every moment is temporary, and that's why it's a blessing. And people are going to act how they act. They're going to talk how they talk. They're going to walk how they walk. They're going to look how they look, and they're going to say what they're going to say. They're going to do it. I can assure you of that. And so it's one of those things. I recognize that as well, and I give them space for it. Because it's not my fight. They're fighting their own fight. They don't even recognize that they're fighting their own fight, and it's the person that they see in the mirror. They're literally fighting themselves. And it's one of those things. I had a conversation with my coworker today about smoke and mirrors. We were talking about Candace. And he said, smoke and mirrors. And I'm like, yeah, no doubt. And I attempted to watch today's episode. And I couldn't even bring myself to do it, to be honest. I just couldn't. I just don't know. I really don't. The things that I pick up on, the things that I see, the whole thing just makes me disgusted altogether. And what happens is, and I see it so prevalently, I see it on my everyday. Is people. They get obsessed. They get fixated. And I'm not speaking about her by any means. I'm just saying in general. They get fixated on these motions. They get a little taste. Of whatever that may be. Fill in the blanks for yourself, because we can all resonate with this. I can. I lived in a world where I got a little taste, you know? And it took me to the ground. It took me to the ground, trying to climb said ladder without my integrity intact, without my voice intact, without loving myself intact, without speaking up when I should speak up intact, right? Because I was so indoctrinated in people pleasing everyone around me and going with the flow and allowing everybody to step on me and everybody to dictate me and do this and do that. I was indoctrinated in that by a child because my parents and this and whatever, right? And I recognize that. But it ends here. It absolutely ends here with me. Like, my son will not do that. I know he won't do that. Like, I see that now in my everyday. Just based on the growth that I have done within myself, I see it in my son. By the grace of God, I'm like, by the grace of God, I was able to walk through everything that I have walked through the last freaking decade of my life so I could become the parent I should have been when he came out of my womb. You know? And it's one of those things. Life sucks. Life is hard. Grab a tissue. You know, it is. It is. But at the end of the day, don't be on the side where you're doing smoke and mirrors. Right? Don't be on the side where you're judging when you don't know the full story. And when you're judging, this is the best part of judging that trips me out. When it comes to judging, when people judge, is like they judge based off their entitlement. And then they judge based off the sources and whatever it is they may or may not have. But on the other side of the judgment that they're placing, on that other side, they're also receiving back-ended deals, right? Whether that's fame, whether that's fortune, whether that's business growth, whether that's whatever the case might be. I've seen it so much in my life. I've seen so many people start from nothing, go to something, and lose themselves in it. I've seen it. Because that's what the system and the programming wants you to do. They want you to do that. Because they have control over you. You have now bought in to the system, and they now have control over you in reference to what you do, what you say, what side you're on, how you articulate things, religion, politics. And it's like, it's a roundabout all the way up. And no matter what side of it you're on, it's the same way in different ways. Whether you're Trump and his whole entourage, whether you're Candace and her whole entourage, whether you're the Democrats and their entire entourage, whether you're whatever. It's the exact same way in different ways. Literally. When the public people, the general public, are paying the price. As we hit the mundane. As we hit the mundane. And we fight to make sure our kids can eat. We fight to make sure maybe one day we can buy a house like they have. Right? I saw the portion of her episode. We're talking about my family and gratitude and all this stuff. Like, yeah, you should have gratitude. You should. Like, duh. Everybody should have gratitude, first of all, for the breath in their lungs. But you dang sure should have gratitude when you're being able to live a lavish lifestyle when others deserve to live it too. When every other person in this world, I shouldn't say every other person, but there are people that work really, really hard to live not even a lavish lifestyle, just something. Give them something, you know? And it's just crazy to me. It's absolutely sick. And then everybody sits on their screens and on their like little shows and they do this and they do that and they judge and they point the finger and they pick sides. When recognizing that division and picking sides is never going to end well. And either you indoctrinate the side that you've decided to stand on's thinking. And if you do, ask yourself what you're losing while you do that. Ask yourself what you're losing while you do that.